So you might want to pause the video to try the warm-up. We're going to go straight to the answers. So you are trying to think of two numbers that multiply to make these numbers, and if you're not sure, go through that list from last time. So 4's into 27 doesn't work, 9's into 27 does work 3 times. One you can work out goes first, and then the square root of 9 you just simply work it out, so that's 3. 75 is 25 and 3, the square root of 25 is 5, so 5 radical 3. And a big number, but look, it's hundreds, so we know 100 works, and the square root of 100 is 10. Now for 128, the easiest way is to go with 64 and 2, but that might not be that obvious. Square root of 64 is 8, so the answer is 8 radical 2. You might have spotted 4's work, with it being a larger number, and got 4 and 32, so square root of 4 is 2. Then you've got to try simplifying again. So for 32, ideally you'd notice 16 and 2, but if you didn't, 4 and 8 works again. Square root of 4 is 2. 2 times this 2 is 4, so we've got 4 radical 8. And then radical 8 also is 4 and 2. Square root of 4 is 2, times by this 4 is 8, so we end up with 8 radical 2, which is the same thing that we started with in our quick method. So just remember there's multiple ways of getting to the correct answer. Why are we actually doing this? Well, let's link this into something that we should know already. So what is x plus 3x? Well, as these are like terms, and this is the same as 1x, then 1x plus 3x should be 4x. Now, if I ask you to work out this question, x plus 3y, then you can't actually add these together because these are not like terms. This one's x and this one's y. Now, if we extend this to radicals, notice these are like terms. This is radical 2, this is also radical 2. So this is almost like 3x plus 4x. How many radical 2's do we have? 3 plus 4 is 7, so our answer is 7 radical 2. Now if we change the radical though, and have 1 as radical 2 and 1 as radical 3, then these are not like terms. So we can't actually add these together, so we just have to say, that's it, we can't actually do that question. So you can only add them or subtract them if these are like terms. Now the last question, this is my trick question for my class when I ask them, hopefully they've just learned from this one and they say, you can't add these together because these are different terms. However, you can actually add these two together. How can you add these two together? Well, for this question, radical 8 can actually be simplified. So radical 8 can be written as radical 4, radical 2. And if we work out the square root of 4, it's 2. Times by this 4 is 8. So we have 3 radical 2 plus 8 radical 2. And now actually these are like terms, so we can go ahead and add them. 3 plus 8 is 11. And what are we adding? Radical 2's. So 11 radical 2. What you don't want to do on these questions, which is very common, is to add 2 and 2 and get radical 4 here. Just like if you're doing x and x here, we're not saying it's 2x or x squared or anything. We're just saying 1x plus 3x is 4x of a certain object. So when we get questions like this, first of all, it looks like we can't add these two together because they're different terms, but 12 looks like we can simplify that. So 12 we can write as 4 and 3. Square root of 4 is 2. Times by this 3 is 6, so this is 6 radical 3. And then now we can combine them because these are like terms, so they're both radical 3's, and 8 take away 6 is just 2. Let's move on to our next one. Now this one has 3 terms. Radical 2 I can't simplify. Radical 27 I should be able to simplify. That one's 9 and 3. And 8 is 4 and 2. So I split it up like this. Then I work out the one that I can work out. So square root of 9 is 3, times by 4 is 12. So this is 12 radical 3. And the square root of 4 is just 2. So that's 2 radical 2. Now what I'm looking for here is like terms. So I got 3 terms here, but notice this one's a radical 2. This one here is also a radical 2. So I should be able to combine those. So 5 radical 2 plus 2 radical 2 is 7 radical 2. And then this one doesn't combine anything, so just subtract 12 radical 3 at the end there. So don't think you can always combine terms, but certainly you can do it on a few of the terms that you have. Now that's addition and subtraction. Also we have multiplication, and we'll look at that in the next clip.